Jean-Claude Blanc is not going to be Manchester United's new CEO. According to reports coming out today, that move has been dampened down by people at INEOS and Manchester United. We'll look into what Manchester United's search for a CEO contains, how we go about it, who actually is Jean-Claude Blanc and what is his role going to be at Manchester United. We're going to get into that today. We're going to round up what could be happening in the FA Cup. There is possibly a ground move going on if something happens in this replay between Eastleigh and Newport. Sancho done. Martial wants international football and wants to be playing in the Euros. Okay, let's get on with the Manchester United news for today. Hello everyone, this is Forever United TV. I'm Adam, welcome along to the show. Get your comments in the live comment section. If you are watching this video later when it is on YouTube, obviously drop your comments in below into the comment section and let us know what you think about all the topics we're going through today. First of all though, we are getting into the CEO situation at Manchester United. Now, obviously, all the dust has settled regarding what is going to happen in January, which isn't a lot in terms of incomings. All attention has now gone across to Manchester United's staffing issue and what INEOS will want to bring in for their footballing control side of things. Who they have to go to, what measures they have to go to, how are Manchester United going to structure this search for a CEO. Now, it was all thought that it was a straightforward process. INEOS coming in with their people, Sir David Brailsford, Sir Jim Radcliffe, and we were all thinking that Jean-Claude Blanc, who is running sporting operations at INEOS right now, was the man set perfectly in place to come in and be Manchester United's new CEO. Now, there is still a chance that this could happen, and INEOS will put across their proposals to the rest of Manchester United's board, all the Glazer family and everyone else on the PLC, for their case for maybe Jean-Claude Blanc or someone else. We don't know yet, but it was rumoured and it has been talked about for a long time now, simply I think because he is already at INEOS and running their sporting operations, like I said, that he was automatically going to be the man that was in the hot seat, the CEO hot seat at Manchester United. Now, that is not the case. There's been a detailed article today in The Athletic which goes through all of what is going to happen now going forward to Manchester United in the search for the CEO, and the muted move for Jean-Claude Blanc coming into Manchester United is now being dampened a little bit. I'm going to get into some of the quotes now so you guys know where we're up to. And then I want to talk about what Jean-Claude Blanc could actually bring to Manchester United and what his role could be, because apparently there is going to be a role. We're just not sure if it's going to be a high up role like a CEO or another in another department or in some other way, shape or form. How INEOS obviously utilise his qualities and his talents and what he has got. Jean-Claude Blanc has been mooted as a potential candidate for Manchester United CEO and was thought to be under consideration, but numerous sources at United and INEOS have poured cold water on that idea. Across meetings in recent weeks, Jean-Claude Blanc's role has been portrayed as somebody club staff can expect to see a lot of around the place, but the expectation he will be very much he will very much be there as a representative of INEOS rather than a new Manchester United CEO. That was Dan Sheldon from The Athletic. That was the talk this morning, and we all just assumed, didn't we? I did. I thought it was nailed on from reports, but like we are, obviously, us mere mortals looking into the world of how football clubs are run and what's necessary, we obviously have to learn. And this has been a case in Manchester United's search now for certain positions, and I feel like we're just going to find out as and when with this. It's just going to be a long process again, as everything is at Manchester United. Looking into how this process actually works is mind-blowing, and it's just going to take a long time. So the sooner INEOS get at the table and get control of Manchester United sporting operations, they can start making moves to actually put people in place where they need to. We spoke about this plenty of times, but Jean-Claude Blanc, what can he bring to Manchester United? Is he actually a candidate for Manchester United as a CEO? I think his name will come up. I actually think that INEOS will put forward to the Manchester United board a case for Jean-Claude Blanc. You only have to look at what he's done and what he's actually managed, and big over the last 2 decades, big sporting events that he's actually managed and organised, which Olympics, Winter Olympics, Tour de France, Paris-Dakar, French Open, Davis Cup. Obviously, he's been chairman and CEO of Juventus, and he has been commercial director for a long time at Paris Saint-Germain. Now at INEOS, running all of their sporting operations. So the quality of the man and the experience that he's got in every single walk of sport is substantial and would only be a benefit to United. The fact that even if he doesn't become a CEO and he's still part of INEOS and someone that David Brailsford can lean on and go to, you know you've got experience in all sorts of areas there. When dealing with UEFA and FIFA directly and dealing with the management of all the commercial and financial stuff, financial fair play and everything like that, that was involved. It wasn't actually there involved when he was in control or stepped down from a certain role at Juventus to deal with all the management of the financial side. That's what happened there. He basically overseen Juventus from relegation, from the catastrophe that was, back into Serie A. He has overseen Paris Saint-Germain's Qatar takeover and dealt with that transition from mediocrity to where Paris Saint-Germain are now and the money that's been invested by the Qatari group. So you've got to look at what this man has done, I feel, and then start looking at where he would fit in at United, how he would work at United. And at the end of the day, whichever way you do look at Jean-Claude Blanc and what he can bring to United, I look at it and it's all the experience, the sporting experience, and dealing with not just all sporting aspects but the financials of sporting events like he has done. That experience and knowledge is vital to Manchester United, even if he doesn't become a CEO. So Jean-Claude Blanc is a very good man to have on your team. So I would say definitely a positive for Manchester United on that side of things. But also, if he does, and if he is a candidate for the CEO, then United will have, I feel, still the right man there. Definitely better than what we've had. When you look in the past at Manchester United and how the CEOs from Martin Edwards all the way forward, so what have you had there? Kenyon, obviously Gill, Woodward, Arnold, everyone has been employed as a Manchester United CEO from within the club. They already had a role at the club before they got promoted to CEO. This will be the first time, if United do go down the approach of bringing in someone from the outside, they've done this, and it will be done by a hedge hunter. Someone who is going to go and find the candidates, break everything down, check, have meetings with all of the board, all of the PLC, obviously Sir Jim Radcliffe and INEOS, and then the Glazer family and every single one of them. Have meetings with them, get all the information off each individual, break it down as to who they want and what they're looking for someone to do in this role as a CEO. Then find the candidates, then fizzle out all of the stuff that they don't meet the criteria for, making a short list of around about 8 or 10 people, and then the interview process starts there. So you can see how long this is going to take, and you can see how much of a minefield it's going to be just to get the right man in through the door at United. So yeah, I think long process, and I think we're just going to have to wait it out and see and bide our time. Hopefully when everything is signed off by the Premier League and INEOS are in, they can get on with this and we don't need to really worry about it, because like we said last night, the CEO is a massive role at the football club, and it's going to take a long time to oversee the process and get the right man in, which is what we should be doing, and we should be doing this within season as well. So let's not look at this as a negative right now. Obviously we want everyone in position for when that window opens, so hopefully by the end of this month, come February, INEOS can start putting their candidates forward. They can start talking with the Glazers and everyone can get together. They may even be doing it now. So it does take a while, and is probably going to take till the end of the season, to be honest, before we even know who the CEO is. So that process, thankfully, can be done behind the scenes and out of the way, and we can start afresh come the summer. All of what we've talked about and needing to be ready for this next window, we're getting the details of that now, and we're finding out exactly how long and what's involved in it. And I think it's important that we do know, so we don't just jump to conclusions and say, look, This is just typical United again. It's taken ages. Why can't they just employ the right man? Why can't they just go out and get the best in class? Well, you need to break down what you need and what the elements of best in class are. And that's what is going to be happening now. So hopefully, like we said, for us, we can turn it around on the pitch. While in the background, Manchester United are just doing what they should be doing and acting like a big club and organising how we get to getting that right man in behind the scenes and ready for what we need, which is a big overhaul when the summer comes around. Let's get the likes up, everybody. Please give the video a like. Hope you're all well and hope you're all enjoying the content at the moment. There's obviously not a lot of football going on, so it gives us a chance to get into some of these more contentious sort of subjects. But yeah, do give the video a like, please, everyone. Let's get into your chat and see. I mean, is there anyone in the chat out there knowledgeable enough to know exactly what Manchester United need as a CEO? I'm just looking through some other news and updates coming through now while we're talking as well. I may just flick across straight to the Anthony Martial news, because Sky have come out now saying that Martial wants to fight for his position in the team till the rest of the season and see out his current contract. Now, it was also a report, it came from a Turkish reporter as well, saying that Martial wants to be part of the Euro squad for France. I mean, that's a joke on its own. He's got absolutely no chance of getting in that French squad. You have to play and show willing to play to actually get into the international stage. Whether that's just a false report, I don't know. But the reality is Martial, he's been missing for a month, ill. No one knows what's going on with him. We're now hearing Sky coming out today saying that Martial is going to be here till until the summer. We said this last night. He's going to sit on that contract because no one is going to give him anywhere near that $250,000 that is being paid at Manchester United right now. And you know, at the end of the day, everyone's like, yeah, probably knew this was going to happen anyway, so not really too fussed about this news. It is Martial. He's done it all his career at Manchester United, barring his first couple of seasons. So Martial definitely staying at the football club. I'm going to get into the chat now. Is there any other football club run like this, Adam? I think Sir Jim is a very brave man. There is not many businessmen would get involved with the Glazers. No, not when it comes to a sporting side of things anyway. Van der Sar and Overmars did an amazing job at Ajax with Ten Hag. Give Ten Hag a similar structure with Ashworth and Paul Mitchell. I could see us see positive results. I mean, the importance of having a structure is... the perfect example of that is Ajax in this season, and the absolute chaos what's going on at that football club right now. So obviously, sadly, we've seen what happened with Edwin van der Sar on holiday in Croatia when he was rushed to hospital with and needed the operation regarding his brain and everything, and thankfully he's come out of that now. I think it was a brain hemorrhage, and he's now resting up and not part of Ajax for obvious reasons. Overmars is serving his ban from Dutch football, actually worldwide football, because FIFA expanded that ban. So Overmars as a sporting director and Edwin van der Sar as a CEO at Ajax, they're not there now, and they have just gone and spent 150 million on players that don't belong at that type of club. We've seen this before, haven't we? And look where they are. Knocked out the cup by amateurs. We're once bottom of the league. They've got a bit better now, but still it is on record one of Ajax's worst ever seasons. What was making that club run was the structure above. You took the two big elements out of that, and you could liken this to, but slightly different, in David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson with Manchester United. Ajax lost Overmars, Ajax lost Van der Sar, and they just capitulated. They spiralled down that table, went out of the cups, and are now in the middle of their worst season ever. Fans damaging the stadium, tearing things up, absolute uproar, because the system and the structure was, it was best way it was split, and it was torn apart. When you lose the heartbeat of the club, which was that structure above the manager, it didn't really matter what manager came in. The structure and the philosophy was there. Now they've got someone else in charge there. I can't remember the guy's name, who have just come in, and a spokesperson from Ajax has said, and reporters from the Dutch league, Eredivisie, have said they have just blown 150 million. It's it's absolutely crazy how it can just capitulate after one season, but it is simply because you've lost everything that you know, and that's the difference. What you want about Adam? There's no confusion at all. He's going to be the new CEO. Yes, there is, Red. He's not going to be the new CEO. I think you need to do a little bit more reading, my man. But yeah, I thought he was as well. But now we're being told, no, that's not the case. He's just going to be there as a representative, not the actual CEO. Colin says, when you consider how big United are as a cash-generating business, these businesses pro is needed. Yeah, they do need the best to actually make it work. No Blanc, no Ashworth. It's all looking a bit dead to me, says Truth Seeker. We don't know yet. Let's give it a bit of time. I'm trying not to think down that road. These jobs should have been top priority. I think they are, Sparrow. And I think, obviously, they're not allowed to officially say anything. So what's happening right now, this could be all going on behind the scenes with the knowledge of the Glazers. And they're happy for this to go ahead. Obviously, INEOS cannot announce or say anything until they are official at Manchester United. So this could have been going on for months already, guys. We don't know. There will be no announcement until INEOS are in situ at United. That's what we're looking at. So all of what I'm talking about and the whole build-up and the process and everything like that could have already been going on at the club, and we could be getting close to an actual decision on it. So we don't know. It is a possibility that we could find out sooner rather than later. It could be the end of the season, but as long as it's in place and these guys are doing what's needed for when we need it, i.e. when the manager needs players coming through the door, if it's Ten Hag or a new manager in the summer, that's all that matters. Getting the best people in place and getting them in time to give the new manager or Ten Hag the best chance possible. Glazers hire for CEO incoming, just like I predicted. It's not Compass Smith. It's not the same like that anymore. The Glazers definitely are. The Glazers are going to have to be advised on it. They will have their say because the CEO is both sides, the commercial and the sporting side. There are different types of CEO. It can be run differently, and it's whatever other positions are covered that CEO is not covering. Basically, the structure. How is the structure going to be? Is the CEO going to be more sports-related stuff, or is he going to be more commercial side? It needs to be a balance between both. Obviously, there's 2 seats on the board when INEOS do come in. So I feel, whereas there may be conversations and muted conversations going on right now as to who is coming in, I don't feel any decision is going to be allowed to be made until INEOS have got their 2 people on the commercial board as well, alongside all of the Glazer family and everyone else. And INEOS's sporting control is announced as well. I think that's why nothing is in place yet and we haven't heard anything. Hopefully, like I said though, them conversations have been going on in the background and we will get to that decision soon. This FA need to ratify the deal. Excuse is lame in my book. Everybody and their gran knew INEOS were coming in for months. They should have made better preparations. They didn't, and we should be worried. Why, Dobby? They can't do anything right now. So what is the rush? What's the panic? As long as it's all done and dusted this season, it's fine. What the hell can they do right now that's going to change anything that's going on the pitch? This is a 5-10 year plan. Nothing's going to happen overnight, even when they're in. So for me, no. It doesn't even come into being a worry for me. It really doesn't. And I don't think we should be overly concerned about certain positions and what influence they're going to have in the short term. As long as we make the right decision and we get the right people in place, and like I said, hopefully ready for helping the manager when it comes to the summer transfers, and we have a good idea of what structure and what plan we've got, then I'm not really concerned in the immediate future about what actually is happening. The biggest concern is who, and is it going to be, like INEOS has said, the best in class, and are they going to go that extra yard to get the best in class through the door? And nothing can be officially said or announced. They're not allowed to until INEOS are actually in situ at the football club. So do not expect anything else to come out. But yeah. We have breaking news, by the way. It has been announced that Jadon Sancho has joined Borussia Dortmund. Jadon Sancho to Borussia Dortmund. Here we go. Fabrizio Romano. Deal in place between Man United and Dortmund. On loan, no buy option. Understand Sancho can travel later today for medical. Borussia Dortmund will cover part of the salary plus loan fee, €4 million packages. Boarding completed. Turkish Airlines, apparently, Fabrizio Romano is saying. And Jadon Sancho is on his way to Dortmund out of Manchester United. It is a done deal, everybody. Live here right now. Jadon Sancho finalised and over the line. Well, one deal done. One big headache deal done. Let me know what you think, guys. Sancho has gone. What is your mood right now? Actually, let's just, while we're there, I might as well just do a poll. Sancho gone. Thoughts? Not bothered. Happy. Okay, there we go. Poll is up now, guys. A few options for you there. Jadon Sancho is out the door. Give me your initial thoughts. Thank you, everybody. Get involved in the poll there. Please give the video a like. Let's get up to 100 likes. Where's that time gone? Oh, my God. Oh, my days. Yes. Let's get into some of the chat and your thoughts. Bye, Sancho, with the control pad. At least one scumbag gone. He actually made the flight this time. Thank God Jadon didn't oversleep and made the plane, says Jarvis. Gray, I don't see a long-term plan when Sir Jim is 186-year-old already. Is he over? Is he 186? He's looking well for 186, isn't he? He is. Go play FIFA at Dortmund, you weak coward, says Monkey. Monkey. I hope he doesn't turn up late for the signing. He will be back in the summer. Dortmund won't pay us more than 30 million for this bum. No, S. Madison. They are skint and can't buy him anyway, so we know that. Jadon, don't forget your PS5. Adam, don't we still owe money on Sancho to Dortmund? Probably not at this stage, or there may be something in line. I can't see Dortmund paying us any money if we still owe them any money. That's how I look at it, Mike. But I'm not savvy to the actual deal and what was left. I've not looked into it too much. I've kind of just concentrated, like most people, on the football side of things and how bad he is and just wanting him out the bleeding door. Talented boy, emphasis on boy. Shame we seem to do this as a club too regularly, but we'll move on. We do. We kind of are a bit of a bad omen for a lot of players, aren't we, Manchester United? Good riddance, though. I wish him well. Anybody who signs for United is either thick or desperate, says Gary. Just got my ticket sorted for the Spurs game. Stretford ends. General Foodie, I think you need to be coming over and having a quick chat with us then, mate, when we're outside. So good luck, mate. Enjoy the game as well. Hopefully I'll see you on Sunday. Come and say hello. Be good to see any of the subscribers actually come over and have a bit of a chat. That would be great. I'd much rather we stopped the deal and made him rot in the reserves or find a permanent deal anywhere. Not happy about him coming back. Here's a question for you then, guys. So Jadon Sancho has just took the headlines. It's been confirmed by Borussia Dortmund that he's out of the door. Would any of you want to see Jadon Sancho back in a Manchester United shirt if he performed well at Dortmund? He goes to Dortmund, he starts rediscovering his form that he did have and why Manchester United bought him in the first place. Is there a spot for him back in this team? If Jadon Sancho starts putting up numbers again, are you looking at it differently? Are you looking at it more that Jadon Sancho was ill-treated by Ten Hag? Or you feel the manager is actually right? Does it matter if he starts performing now for you? Is there any way back for Jadon Sancho, I would say? So I want to pose that question and leave that out there, guys. Let me know what you think. If he starts performing, do you want him back? Do you feel like there is a spot back at Manchester United for Jadon Sancho? Some people actually think that he could still do a job. I was talking to someone last night, actually, who said that Jadon Sancho has been harshly treated by Erik ten Hag. He had a decent pre-season, and then when the first game came around, Antony started in front of him, and this is where the whole favouritism shout came from. Jadon Sancho wasn't happy that he was behind Antony, and the way that he performed and is still performing, and Sancho not getting any game time at all, this is where the kickoff has come about, and you've got to look at it from that side as well. I'm still on the manager's side. He's the most important man at the club. From the player's side, if the team is underperforming and the same players keep on playing, then you got to understand why some players would get a little bit knocked off. But you knuckle down and you prove the manager right. There's always a chance. That player is always going to come out of the team. The example of Jadon Sancho now, he could have actually carried on playing for United and been alright under Ten Hag. The perfect example is Alejandro Garnacho. Marcus Rashford wasn't for being moved from that left hand side. Ten Hag was playing Rashford above anyone else. We all know this as United fans. Garnacho came in, just bided his time, wasn't playing much, took his opportunities off the bench, and now he's ahead of Marcus Rashford in the team. So Ten Hag has got this in him. So the favouritism shout, you can take it which way. You can accept that you're playing at Manchester United and you're not always going to be part of the team. You can maybe look at it and go, I am being a bit unfairly treated there because we are playing crap and I can't get in the team. Look at yourself. Were you playing well enough when you came in, or were you still feeling sorry for yourself that you've only got a little bit of an appearance? Why not make the most of that 10-15 minute appearance and actually get into the manager's head and make it impossible for him to drop you like Alejandro Garnacho did against Marcus Rashford? Now we're seeing Rashford on the left, Rashford on the right, Garnacho left, right, them two now. And Rashford, I don't agree, should be in the team, but this is what Ten Hag was like before, always playing Marcus Rashford. But now Garnacho is a guaranteed starter. Jadon Sancho could have been Garnacho. He could have forced the manager to play him. Instead, he spat his dummy out, he made it public, and that is the worst mistake any player can make. As soon as you go against the manager publicly, you don't stand a chance. Fine, you weren't treated well, I understand that. I would be miffed off if Antony was playing ahead of me, but you could have gone about it a different way. So Sancho gone, coming back. Will Ten Hag still be here when Jadon Sancho comes back from that loan? It's going to be a big 4 months in the futures of both Erik ten Hag and Jadon Sancho for more reasons than one. Absolutely, I can see this just being another part to this saga. This is nowhere near done yet. We've not seen or heard the last of Jadon Sancho, in my opinion. This is going to carry on. David says, I think the issue is both ways. Erik ten Hag supported him with health issues, but is stubborn, and favouritism towards Antony hasn't helped him either. We'll love to see Sancho deliver for United. I think every United fan would love to see a player who feels like he's been hard done to actually prove a point on the pitch. Doesn't have to prove a point off it, because no one's going to pay any attention to it, because it benefits no one. If you've got an issue, go and show the manager on the pitch that he is wrong. You can't say the manager's wrong, you have to show the manager that he's wrong. And as a footballer, that's all you've got. That's the only power you've got. Your attitude and your performance on the pitch. That's all you've got as a player. Past that, you don't stand a chance. Everyone can see it. If you go on the pitch and perform, the pressure will ultimately come from the fan base for you to play. It did for Garnacho. It did for dropping Marcus Rashford. It did for taking the captaincy off Harry Maguire. The fans do have a voice. The fans do talk. And it does influence managers and clubs. It does. Some people will say that the fans are just a noise. They've got no influence over everything that happens. Well, they do have some influence, and that has been proven, especially at Manchester United. So, yeah, you got to look at it that way and go, Sancho, sad that it's ended this way. It may not be over yet, but it could have been also different. And it comes down to what Sancho has done more than what Ten Hag has done for me in this one. Adam, what do you think about Martial saying he wants to stay and fight for his place? I did just get into that, Ian. He's not in fighting for his place. He's not got any place at United because they've made it clear they're not giving him a new deal. So, fight for what? Now to the end of the season? Why wasn't you fighting for your place over the last month when you've been off ill? I mean, everyone's been ill at Manchester United, so if it is the same bug that everyone has had, why is Martial taking a month to recover from it? If it is something else that the club are not telling us, then I can't pay any attention to that statement coming out saying that Martial wants to fight for his place. You cannot say that about a man who wants to fight for his place, who doesn't want to put himself forward to actually be in the team in the first place. So no, I don't believe in it. I think he's sitting on his wages personally, and I think he's another player that feels like he has been harshly treated and hard done to at the football club. The Red Army singing section behind the tunnel, Adam. Good for you, mate. You'll have a good time over there. The atmosphere is good over in the Red Army singing section. Let us know. Get us some videos, mate, and then do come over and see us at the end of the game, bud. That would be good to. It would be good to see you and catch up with a subscriber. Kaz, you're probably right. His team selections will lose him too many games, in my opinion. Here for 6 months, says Kaz. It could well be. Like I said, everyone knows my opinion on how long I think Erik Ten Hag is going to be a job at Manchester United. Dobby says, Glazers are time travellers from the future, and they had to destroy Donny's career in order to prevent the extinction of mankind in 30 years. What are you on about, Dobby? Did you see that Gabon player that claims to have been born 3 years after his mother died? Okay, yeah, let's leave that chat there. You guys are on a different planet, quite clearly. Yes. Hard done by Jesus, says Lloyd. I know. They're not, are they? We're over 100 likes in the stream, by the way. Thank you very much, guys. In today's news really is all expected news. There's nothing new really, except that Jadon Sancho is official. He has left Manchester United on loan to Dortmund. Martial wants to fight for his place at United for the rest of the season. Not true. Well, true on the headline, not true in terms of Martial fighting for his place. I don't see that in him at all. And the CEO of Manchester United, now we're being told it isn't going to be Jean-Claude Blanc. So, well, we'll see, won't we? Other news is that Manchester United could actually be playing at a neutral venue if Eastleigh do get through in that FA Cup tie against Newport. This is because of health and safety reasons for Eastleigh's home ground. So, if in fact they do beat Newport and go through, it may not be played at Eastleigh's home ground. So, I was saying this the other day that teams actually can switch venues if they want. If they want to take Old Trafford, this still happens. It's not been happening much over the last few years, but this one may be taken out of Eastleigh's hands in a way that health and safety reasons, their ground isn't up to standards and cannot host an FA Cup 4th round match. So let's see on that one. I think they will probably get away with it. It will be one of them temporary BBC or ITV boxes being erected in the corner of a old school non-league ground. It will add some character back to the FA Cup, I suppose, but yeah, there is a big chance that it will not go ahead at Eastleigh. So yeah, just stay tuned for that one. It is going to be a touch and go one, all health and safety reasons and everything else right now. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, because it definitely does affect Manchester United. I feel like if it is neutral ground, then it loses all. It loses all jeopardy. I think the game completely. It doesn't make. It's not as difficult, and obviously United will be even more in the favourites. But yeah, again, I think United just getting lucky in the FA Cup and the FA Cup draw more than anything, and then going forward. So I'm just checking through some other news right now. I can see Spurs there. ready to sign a centre-back, looking stronger, going to be absolutely ready for Man United at weekend. It's going to be a tough game. It really is. It is going to be a tough game. And I think Ten Hag right now, looking at it, yeah, his FA Cup could save him a little bit, but when you look at the games that are coming up and how difficult they are, you've got to take into consideration the way that United have played already, how we've got to integrate these players back in that he said are going to come back and add balance and experience to the team. Honestly, I don't want to bring players that have been out for months into a big game. So it was right that Eastleigh was muted as the game to start bringing players back. I think that's the right type of game. It's all right saying, oh, he's back for the Spurs game, he's back for this game, but they have to find their feet. And you're going in against tough teams that have been fully rested now because of all the winter breaks and everything. So it's not going to be easy just to integrate these players back into the team, not by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves for players coming back, I say. It is going to be a tough job, and hopefully the club have done it right this time. They've not rushed them back too soon. It does look like that is the case, because we're still not convinced that Mason Mount is going to come back. Happy birthday, Mason Mount, by the way. 25 today. So it was told it was going to be the middle of the month, then it's going to be the back end of the month. Just make sure that the players are right, and make sure that they're coming back, and we're not going to get any recurrence of any injuries. Luke Shaw's injury is down to his broken leg from years and years ago. He's been having issues with that, so that's an interesting one, and probably not good in a way, really, if that's coming back around and giving him issues. So yeah, not good for Luke Shaw on that side of it. If something that happened a long time ago is coming back and giving him trouble, especially when it's a broken leg, and we know that Shaw one was an horrendous one, absolutely horrendous. But I mean, right now, with them players that are coming back, so for instance, let's just say this weekend we've got Spurs. We could possibly have Luke Shaw and Ericsson back in the team. That's what Ten Hag has said. Do you feel like any of them, you feel like any of these players are going to come straight back into the team from what you've seen so far? I think the obvious one is Ericsson for McTominay. I think most people would go with that. At the back, does Harry Maguire come back in? Let me know, guys. Do you bring Harry Maguire back into this team? Let's just see where the poll is at regarding Jadon Sancho. Happy, 53% people. Sancho has gone. Not bothered, 35%. 6% not happy. And 6% are saying it should have been Ten Hag and not Jadon Sancho. So there are a little minority of people that are actually happy that Jadon Sancho is gone or going. So let's just see how Sancho performs. Let's see if he can hit it off again in Dortmund, and then we'll judge him when he comes back again in pre-season. And yeah, it's no matter which way you look at it, the pre-season and everything that's happening this summer for Manchester United, it's going to be massive. So much going on in one summer. It was the first transfer window under the new structure. Greenwood coming back, Sancho coming back, all the players on loan, the younger players coming back. Who is going to stay? Are we going to keep Alvaro Fernandez? There's an awful lot going on. Ericsson in for the hologram, says Compost Smurf. Erik ten Hag always eases players in. He never throws players returning from injury straight into tough games. I think Martinez, he rushed back too quickly. I think that was one of his big mistakes, Dobby. Liam Whitehouse says, didn't the lad who broke Shaw's leg score a winner against us as well? I think he did. Did he not? I think he did, actually. That was a bad night, that. Shaw was absolutely purring at that time as well. He looked really good, and it absolutely just, it finished him. It took him ages to come back from it. Even when he came back from the broken leg, he just wasn't the same man for a long time. I think Shaw's time is done due to that broken leg years ago. We need to start looking for a new left back. Keep Maguire out. Evans is doing better than expected. I think the question is, does Harry Maguire come in for Raphael Varane with Erik ten Hag? Do you think he will actually pick Harry Maguire over Raphael Varane? It's going to be an interesting one, because he was favouring Maguire over Varane. It wasn't Evans that was in question. it was actually Varane's place. Evans was the mainstay. But I think Martinez coming back the week after, I don't think it really matters right now. Ultimately, I think he needs to get back to the partnership that was last season, which was Martinez and Varane. So I would say, yeah, keep Varane in the team, keep Martinez in when he comes in, and hopefully no one gets any more injuries till the end of the season. And we don't need to be worrying about how Maguire plays alongside Evans and Lindelof and how much game time he's getting anymore. Hey Adam, driving to the airport, picking up customers, listening to you. Will be a fast, nice drive. Love your channel. Thanks for that, Simon, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Be careful on the roads. Chris says, meanwhile, Brighton sign Valentin Barco for 8 million. I'm not sure who that player is, but knowing Brighton, it's probably one of them unsung prospects that is going to come forward and make them absolute multi-millions with their recruitment side of things. This is what some people said United should be doing, but hey, maybe in time. Like I said before, everything comes in time, and I think Manchester United need to use that time wisely and just make sure they get the people in place, the right people. Never mind how long it's taking. Get them in over the next few months. Make sure it's done properly, and I think we'll be in a better place. Guys, that is pretty much it. Not much to report this morning. CEO, it's up. It's up for grabs. It's not going to be as we thought, JEAN-CLAUDE BLANC. It could still be, but he is just a name amongst many others, apparently, that United are going to be looking at. Sancho, confirmed, done, gone, left United, on his way, Turkish Airlines to Dortmund as we speak. Martial is going to be here till the end of the season. He wants to fight for his place in the team, according to Sky Sports. But that is pretty much it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, as always, this morning. We'll be back later on tonight. Hopefully, there's a lot more to talk about. It's the interactive show tonight, guys, so do tune in. And I will see you all later on. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe.